Hello foodies.
Welcome to the Breaking Bread podcast.
The foodie podcast presented by food obsessed mates Liam, that's me,
And Carl, that's me. Join us as we aim to peel back the curtain and give food lovers like us a real insight into what makes the hospitality industry so fantastic.
Our fortnightly episodes will bring interviews with people from all over the industry.
And Liam and I will discuss everything food related, from reviewing places we've ate to chatting about recipes we're experimenting with at home.
We hope you enjoy listening to our chats as much as we enjoy recording them. Hi everyone, hope you're all doing well. Eating lots of good food, I hope. Got a really big episode here today for you. One that I'm very excited to release. I recently got to visit one of my favourite restaurants, and probably the most famous restaurant in Birmingham, Michelin Starred Purnells. I got to sit in the lovely private dining area and have a real good chat to their head chef, Luke Butcher. Luke's a mega talented chef who has worked in some of the top restaurants all over England, including Adlard's in Norwich for the infamous David Adlard, the Hand and Flowers in Marlow for Tom Kerridge, and then finally moving up to Birmingham and working in Purnells, where he actually worked his way up to become head chef. Luke came to my attentions as someone that I'd really like to get on the podcast for two reasons really. It was back in, I think, December, where we visited Purnells for a pre-Christmas dinner treat, and 4 of the courses of the tasting menu were desserts, and every one of them was outrageously good. I mean, even Carl, who's not really a big kind of desserts person, he was blown away by them too. He loved them. So I actually had a little look into why the desserts were so good, and found out that the head chef, who obviously we're chatting to today, Luke, is also a pastry chef. But the main reason that Luke kind of came to my attention really was his presence on Twitter. Like everyone who knows who uses Twitter, it's a bit of a cesspit. There's not much sense or logic or anything that goes on Twitter. But Luke kept popping up on my timeline, talking a load of sense, giving out great tips, like giving support to other chefs and calling out all kinds of bullshit really. It's my first kind of thoughts when I seen his tweets was, gosh, I bet his kitchen's really good to work in. I bet it's nothing like all the awful kind of stories, as funny as some of them may be from times gone by. I bet it's nothing like that anymore, and made me think maybe things are finally changing for the better. So it got me kind of wondering, what is it really like working in a Michelin starred restaurant in 2019? If it has changed or what's going on. So it was kind of then that I decided in my mind, that's it, I need to have this fellow onto the podcast. I need to pick his brains and find out what it's really like, and maybe get a little bit of advice from him for young chefs who might listen to the podcasts. I believe Luke's probably one of the best ones around to kind of listen to and learn from at the minute. And ironically, it was Twitter where I finally got chatting to Luke after me and the family went for breakfast one day at just a local cafe by us called Two Mugs. They do great kind of little breakfasts and teas and coffees, nice little place. I didn't realise that Luke's quite a big fan of Two Mugs too, lives quite close by, so we got chatting about that before I kind of thought I'm just going to be cheeky and say, any chance you can come on the podcast? So a couple of DMs later, and here we are. So without much further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Chef Luke Butcher.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. We were in the 2 Mugs. We were in there yesterday actually. Went for a lunch yesterday with the kids. Yeah, onto 2 Mugs.
Yeah, it's good. The 2 Mugs.
Yeah.
There wasn't much around Shirley there that you could go like that. So, well, in fairness, it's approved. Have you lived there? How long have you lived there?
I've lived in my house for 6 years, but I've lived in the area for about 9 years.
Oh, so you know it's improved vastly.
And my wife's lived there her whole life. So
before Parkgate, there was.
Oh my God, there's nothing yet. That's one of the main reasons we got a house there, because that was being developed. Yeah, and there's nothing now. You got all that. You got Fidel del Asado, obviously just open, which is cool. We go to Desco Lounge all the time.
I like Desco.
Yeah, we talk with the kids all the time. Yeah. All the staff, we know all the staff in there. Good with the kids, and no, it's good area. And we were going to move, but now we've just decided to stay for another 5 years really. I kind of just recorded just to see how we were getting on. Cool. So we've kind of started this podcast as nearly all podcasts start, is just a general chat. So I'm going to introduce you now. I'd like to welcome Luke to the Breaking Bread podcast. Hello.
How you doing, mate?
All good.
Really glad to be welcomed into this beautiful restaurant today, Purnells. Probably one of the most famous restaurants in Birmingham. We'll get back to Purnells, but I kind of want to start off by starting where you started.
Okay, so
you're not originally a Brummie.
No. I met a Brummie when I was 16. We fell in love, and I've not been able to leave since. Once you fall in love with Brummie, you are drawn to this beautiful part of the world. So yeah.
So you're from Norwich?
Norwich originally, yeah. So I started off a restaurant called Adlard's in Norwich, which had 1 Michelin star. I kind of fell into it really. It was work experience for school. I was 14, and I was going to go to the Theatre Royal in Norwich and do my work experience there. And then I got home, told my parents, and my mum said, "You're not going there. There's no point in going there. Where's a restaurant? Show me a restaurant on the list." And the only restaurant was a restaurant called Adlard's. I had no idea what it was, didn't know what Michelin star was. I just knew I liked to cook. Or attempt to cook at that age.
What was it that made your mum want to choose a restaurant?
Well, she just thought it would be a waste of 2 weeks' experience to go and work it, which she thought there could be something better out there. Yeah. So that's what she said, let's have a look before you decide.
Okay.
Me making my own decision, obviously the wrong thing. She went, go there, it's a restaurant, it's got a really good reputation, go there. So I was like, okay, fine. And I nearly didn't go. I got there, got off the bus, walked past the restaurant. So I was 14 years old, looked in the window, and there was a lady sort of setting the tables, and a sort of a crazy looking silver-haired man frantically walking around, and I was like, it's a bit intimidating that for me. I walked past it 2 or 3 times, and I thought, oh, sod it, what's the worst that can happen? Walked in, they were expecting me. Lo and behold, the gentleman was David Adlard, who now, after leaving Adlard's and obviously moving on, looking back, I can appreciate and actually obviously admire him a lot for what he's done for the industry. You look back at his career, what he achieved. He went into it at such an old age. Didn't start cooking till he was 30 plus years old. Yeah. And came back to Norwich after his stint at the Connaught and won a Michelin star, which is fantastic. And then obviously learning from him, working with him, was looking back at it now, was an incredible thing to do, an incredible place to be. So I went in there. There's 2 guys in the kitchen here, a guy called Roger Hickman, who's now bought the site, which was Adlard's, and is now running his own restaurant. Roger Hickman's doing very well by all accounts, which is great. And another chef called Stevie Watkin. And there was those 2 and another young chap who he was starting for potwash, I think, and then he was doing the pastry. But anyway, I just literally worked there part-time, got on great in my work experience. They said brilliant, part-time job, was a fantastic part-time job. Would work, go and wash up during the week, wash up on the weekends, give me a bit of food to prep, and I'd be like,
started off as a potwash.
Brilliant. Yeah. All young chefs start off as potwash, in my opinion, because it just gives you an insight into how a kitchen works and builds relationships as well, and then the rights and the wrongs. Done that, and then I went to have something to eat. I think it was one of my parents' birthdays, 2 weeks before I was due to start working. And then they said, "Oh, can you start next week?" Such that one of the guys on the pastries left. So there's only 2 of us. And I went, "Cool, I'll start on Tuesday."
Brilliant.
And I was 16 years old, left school, finished school about 4 weeks beforehand, and straight into a Michelin star kitchen, which is not everyone gets that opportunity. No. I didn't know what it was at the time. I just embraced it and went in there.
Just willing to learn and went for it.
That's it. That's
the
it.
way to do it.
That's it.
Was the this might be a bit of a silly question because I know what my answer would be, but not everyone's different. Was the food in Adlard's much like the food you were used to at home?
Oh no, yeah, nothing there, nothing. I mean, my mum is a fantastic cook. She's got my sort of inspiration into it, and her dad, my granddad, he was a great chef. He could make everything from scratch, absolutely everything. When we used to go and see him in Cornwall, go down the market, come back with fresh fish, prawns, everything, cook them from raw, prep them down, and that's kind of that's where I kind of got my love for it for. Yeah. So my mum, she was a fantastic cook, traditional Thai food, Chinese food, everything but done correctly, So food was always good at home, always good, and still is now when I go back.
When you say your granddad was a good cook, was he actual chef?
He was. Chef? In the Navy. I'm sure it was in the Navy. And he when he finished and came back, he'd do lots of jobs. Some on the good side of life, some little backhander jobs, And he got by, and he was a great cook. And I think there's probably about from that side of the family 2 or 3 of us who have followed sort of in that in his footsteps. got the sort of the inspiration from him, really.
What would you say was probably the best thing he cooked? Do you have a favourite?
Oh, as I say, like when we used to go down in our summer holidays or our school term times. Me and my brother would go and spend some time in Cornwall, and literally it'd just be fresh produce, you know,
just simple
fresh
things,
fish, fresh prawns. You know, he'd make chips, he'd cut the potatoes, blanch them, he'd fry them, you know, himself in his small little kitchen, you know, and all of it just tasted proper. You know,
you were always looking forward to going down there.
That's it, because you know what I mean. That's it, and obviously where I'm from, obviously in Norwich as well. Seaside is in any direction you look that way, you travel, you'll get to a seaside, you know, and walking along, you know, Great Yarmouth, Cromer, Sea Pauling, you know, Galston, all these lovely beaches. Like I say, same thing again with the fresh seafood. You know, you get to one of those little fishmongers, you get yourself a little pot of prawns, cockles, whelks, you know, and you walk along and you're eating them, and it's just there's no fresher taste than that for me.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Has any of the dishes he used to cook, or any of the things he used to cook, and has it inspired any of the dishes you've made since you've turned professional chef?
No, because I say it was just because it was so different. It was just his love of food, really, and his cookery, which only passed on to my mum, which then obviously came down to me, and obviously it must be in the blood. But no, nothing that he done, unfortunately, has been replicated.
Yeah. It's always good to ask.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sometimes something. So, how long did you spend at Adlards then?
So I think I done my part-time work there, and then I left about 2 years. I think I done there. So for the first 9 months, or maybe first 7-8 months, so Roger Hickman was the head chef. He then left to go and do his own thing. And then a guy called Tom Kerridge came in as his first head chef position.
A few people may have heard of Tom Kerridge.
When he was he was 29, 30 odd then. Yeah, so he came in. I was very sort of blown away when he came in. It was almost like a complete contrast to the food that we'd been doing, and sort of opened my mind even more to what could be done, you know, which is just one thing of another chef to another chef, you know, completely changed the style we were doing and how we ran things, and it just it was good, and we were busy, and then, to be fair, about sort of 13 months later, I was looking to leave, because I'd done sort of, you know, including my part-time work, I'd been there nearly 3 years, you know. I thought time to go, and Tom was obviously really, really helpful with that. I was obviously with my girlfriend, who's obviously now my wife, Gemma, you know, so we were like, okay, well, she's in Birmingham. He said, there's a cool guy who's got a Michelin Starred in Birmingham. He's got a small kitchen. He was on the front cover of Caterer that month. You know, and a guy called Glyn Purnell had Jessica's. Yeah. So we were like, okay. So Tom was like, let's arrange a stage, or, you know, a work trial if he's got any positions. Let's get your foot in the door. Yeah. I said, brilliant. So we'll do that. And then sort of a couple of weeks later, Tom had a chat and said, look, I'm going to open my own place. But I'm not going to take any staff. I don't want to take anyone. I'm not going to take anyone from the restaurant. Yeah, from Adlard. And I was like, okay, cool. But I just wanted to let you know that I'm going. So I was like, fine. And then I was kind of thinking, you know, what should I do? There's an opportunity here, and I just literally cornered him 2 weeks later. Said, look, I want to leave anyway, because I want to further expand my career, my knowledge, and everything. Can I come with you? Open it up with you, you know? And he was like, yeah, you've asked me, but that's cool. You do your right thing by David, and we'll go. Yeah. And that was it. So we've done that.
How did that work out? Did he take it well?
Well, no, it was what it was. You know, I think he knew. You know, when I was a young chef. You know, he knew I wasn't going to be there forever. He already had itchy feet about moving around a bit. You know, wanted to learn more. Yeah. So it was cool. I mean, it was what it was. And I've met him a couple of times since then, and we've still got a great. He came to eat here a couple of years back when his son graduated from Birmingham Uni, and, you know, we had a great crack, and he's a lovely guy, and we've got a very good relationship, you know. But it was what it was, you know. And these things happen. He got the team back in, and all was well. Yeah. With there, but then so we left, and one of the other guys who was working out, who was actually already left, was handed his notes in, was already going because he'd been there once again for too long. A guy called Chris Mackett. He then came on board as well, so the three of us went and moved down to Marlow with Tom and his wife. Yeah. And that was the start of that.
So, what was your first role in Marlow?
So, I mean, yes, there was 3 of us in the kitchen. Tom was on the pastry, obviously the chef proprietor, but he was in there on the pastry and the cold start every morning. Chris Mackett was sous chef. He was on the garnish he was on the meat and fish, sorry. And then there's myself, I was on the garnish, you know, I've been commis chef, demi-chef maybe, I don't know. I didn't really have a title, I just went in and done it. We were just there doing it.
You know, where it's a start-up, so everyone's just got to do everything.
You just got to do it, you know. I say Tom's in every morning, and 6 o'clock in the morning making the bread, you know. Me and Chris would trundle over from our little shack we lived in out the back, which was like a converted sheds.
I've been down there, it's charming.
Yeah, and we lived there for a while, you know, and we'd come over in the morning, we just got on with it and done it. Tuesdays to Sunday lunch, and then Tuesday night to Saturday night, you know, so sort of 5.5 days a week. But we knew what it was for. Yeah. We knew what we were doing in terms of where we wanted to be. And it was a tight knit team. There was probably, including the guys who were working up front, 8 of us, 7, 8 of us. You know, at first. And it was obviously a lot of Tom's friends and family massively helped out with setting it all up. Yeah. And Beth's family massively helped out with setting it up. You know, we were really a tight sort of group. Yeah, so I stayed there for a year, and then I kind of had a little mini need to get out of the industry breakdown. I've done it for so long. I've had no life, you know, that sort of thing. And then I kind of said, Tom, I need to take some time away. I need to stop doing it. And he was brilliant. Him, Beth stood around and said, look, whatever you want to do, we'll help you, you know, work my notice, and then left, thinking that was it. I was gonna.
You were done.
I was done, burnt out, should we say? Yeah. Obviously, but I was only sort of 19 years old, 20 years old at this point. But I'd worked hard for a long time, and that was kind of it. I had a year off, almost.
Would you say that wasn't so much like the hand and flowers for? That was just the kind of environment that kitchen was at the time, wasn't it?
It was, as I say, because even when I was working part-time, you know, all my friends and stuff were out doing stuff that teenagers do, and I was working because I wanted to be at work, and so I was kind of done all that, and then I worked hard, solidly, full-time for that amount of time, always missing out on everything like you do. Yeah. You just don't realise it at the time, and then I kind of just came to a point where I was like, nah, that's it, I'm done. So I moved back home, back to Norwich. And then a friend of a friend, I had about a month of sitting on the sofa, dossing about, realising this wasn't the way forward. And then a friend of a friend said, look, I've got a guy who I know who's in the trouble for staff. He's got a bakery out in Durham. Do you want, it's a couple of weeks' work there for you if you want to go and earn some money. I went, brilliant, I've got no money left. So yeah, let's go, I'll go and do it. I went out there thinking it's a couple of weeks, good bit of money to earn for 2 weeks' work. Yeah. Done it, and then by the end of the 2 weeks, the guy said, "Oh, you know, do you want a job?" And I said, "No, I don't want to work. I don't want to work. I don't want to work in the industry. You know, I'm just doing it because I needed the money, so to speak." And he's like, "No." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Listen, don't want to work any weekends. That's the whole point. I want to, I don't want to be there." So we came to an agreement of my working hours, sort of Monday to Friday, but then Fridays I could leave earlier, and not be there, so I still have my life.
Still go out.
And I was like, well, brilliant. Okay, we'll do it. And yeah, so I've done that for about 12 to 13 months. Met some incredible people. 2 people in particular, very, very close friends of mine. And then it got to the point, and I went to, took my girlfriend to Paris for her birthday, and done a week there of eating, drinking, walking around. And I just went, she said to me, I think on the 4th or 5th day, I said, I've got to get back in the kitchen. Caught the bug again. That was it. I got home, phoned Chris Mackett, who was sous chef at the Hands. Obviously, it had been 12, 13, 14 months. The Star, at the Star, things had obviously moved on. And I phoned him and said, I want my job back. And okay, Tom will have you back, but you come in as, commis chef.
Major stuff.
And I went, yeah, okay, so the wage that I was on at the bakery, I literally halved my wage. Yeah. Went back, and I knew what I had to do. I had to earn my stripes and earn that trust back.
You feel that was a test, yeah.
That was it, and went back, done it, knuckled down. It all obviously changed. Lots of staff there now. When there's 3 people in the kitchen, there was probably 5, 6, 7 you know, and it was good. And yeah, after sort of 3 months, I had got my promotion back to where I was. So I passed the test, and yeah, and that was it, and it was great. And then I was there for a good five odd years. You know, seeing the new kitchen, which is now a new kitchen. You know, we went through all that, and some of the times we were there, some of the people I've met are incredible, and that's the one amazing thing about this industry is the people that you meet. You know, yes, you won't get on with everyone. Yes, you'll meet people that you don't like.
That's life.
Yeah, that's life, and it's obviously it's a bit more under a microscope, a bit more sort of a pressure cooker, forced into situations with people in a small area. You know, kitchens aren't massive, you know, unless you're in a sort of a big hotel. But even then, you're still working with these people closer and closer, and either forges great relationships or not. And luckily, the time that I spent at the hands, I've got friends and family there for life, you know. And even now, I don't see some of the guys for a year, 2 years. When we see each other, it's like, you know, straight back into where we were, and the relationship is still there, which is great. And I know that if I need anything, and I could ask them, and they'd help me out, and they know vice versa. You know.
Still have a relationship with Tom. What was Tom like to work for?
Tom's brilliant. Tom and Beth were like, well, I moved away from home first time at that young age. They were like, you know, parents to me. You know, my second parents. Yeah. They don't. They're there for advice. They're there for anything I needed. You know, and I never wanted for anything. And even now, I've been gone nearly 10 years now. I've been gone, but even now, it's the same situation. If I ever needed anything, I know that I could ask him, and I know that if they could do it, they would do it. Yeah. You know, and they've got a great relationship with myself. They've got a great relationship with my wife, because Tom's known Gemma since we were both 16 years old. You know, they've been there for that whole relationship once we've had it. So he's a fantastic guy, and yeah, you see the stuff he does now. You know, he's always helping people. He's always doing stuff for other people. You know, and luckily enough, a couple of months back, him and Chris Mackett, they're up this neck of the woods. I think they're doing the show at the Good Food Show or somewhere or other. And then he came in for dinner, which is the first time I'd cooked for him, well, and Chris actually, but first time I cooked for either of them since I'd left.
Did you get nervous cooking for like a whole mental? Or,
God, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. It was. I was pacing around like a man possessed in there, you know. And luckily, they said they had a fantastic time, and I truly believe what they say is true, you know. And yeah, we had a great time. We had a great catch up afterwards, and yeah, we've got a very good relationship, and long may it continue. Right?
Yeah, good. I just want to go back to the whole burnout kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you think that's changed in the last? How do you think the kitchen environment's changed in the last 10 years?
The kitchen environment's changed massively from when I first started. Still not all completely changed as to where it should be. I don't think anyone's that naive to believe that it should be. There is a lot of pressure on young chefs, especially, but you have to. It's the way they get managed. It's the way they react and how you treat them. I suppose as a senior member of staff, you know, or anyone really in the kitchen, it should be about encouragement, you know, and wanting to get these guys to learn and better themselves. And yes, you know, tempers will flare. Yes, people will get angry. When things go wrong, because they do, you know. Yeah. But that's the same in any job, in any line of work. It's just how you deal with it afterwards and during the situation. Yeah. That's what makes it, you know. And I think the kitchen environments have changed. The working hours have changed. They're a lot better for people. You know, we close 2.5 days. You know, we close Sunday all day, Monday all day, and we don't start on Tuesday until 1 o'clock. You know, we've got 2.5 days off. Everyone's off. The whole restaurant's shut, and then we have week off in Easter, 2 weeks over Christmas. We shut over Christmas and New Year. We never work Christmas New Year, and then the guys have got 2 weeks to choose their own holiday throughout the rest of the year. You know.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
So we actively encourage that, you know, and if and when we can during the week, if we've got, you know, a quiet-ish night, you know, then there's no reason that I'll send 1 or 2 of the guys home, you know, because you don't need everyone to be stood there You know,
not just
2 people doing nothing when everyone should just be working all night, and 2 people could have the night off. Do you know what I mean? And it goes and it works like that. And then the following week, if it happens again, 2 other people get the night off. Then it'll work like that. You know, you've got to try and stop these guys from burning out. You know.
Do you feel as a head chef you've got a responsibility for that to enforce this change?
Yes. Yeah, and it is difficult because you want everyone here doing the job, and it's obviously everyone has their purpose and job in the kitchen. So when everyone's here on a Saturday night, you know, they're all doing that one job. And obviously then in the middle of the week, you know, when we are slightly quieter, or if we are slightly quieter, then we can sort of take someone out of that equation. Then obviously everyone else in the kitchen then has to step up. But then they've got to realise it's the next week.
Yeah.
They'll have a night off, you know. But everyone's really cool with that as well, really cool. You know, and since January we've been 2 chefs down, unfortunately. We had one guy who was scheduled to leave and he left, and then we had a young girl who unfortunately couldn't cope with it anymore and left with no notice, which left us a little bit in the weeds, should we say. But we've been, let's say, 2 down since then. I've been interviewing people since then. We had a guy who started last week, so we're back up to 1. And then I've got another guy who's starting next week. But obviously it's not as easy as people leave and replace them next week, because they've got to hand their notices in their other jobs. They've got, you've got to see everyone on trial. But we've done that for 8 weeks now. We've been 2 members of staff down, and everything's been good. So that then makes you realise what you can do with those extra 2 members of staff. You know.
Well, I came in, I think, just before Christmas, and it seemed brilliant then. It was a packed Saturday night, and it was excellent.
Good,
so.
really good.
Talking about young chefs and getting youngsters into the industry, what one piece of advice could you give to any young chefs who are listening right now?
Young chefs, they need to be like a sponge, I would say. By that I mean absorb everything, take everything in, and, you know, take notes, write everything down. Go into a kitchen and learn everything. Never be afraid to ask a question, because there are no silly questions when it comes to food. If you ask why that happens, or you ask what happens if you did this, you know, it might be wrong, but you'll then find out why that's not going to work, or how this isn't going to work, and why this reaction happens when you cook something in a certain way. You know, and you find out that's what you got to constantly ask questions to learn. And everyone is still learning today. I'm still learning today. I find out things that I don't know, because food is constantly evolving. So you can never stop learning. That's what these young guys have got to do. And also they've got to realise, I think unfortunately in this day and age, probably the last sort of 4 or 5 years, we've a lot of cooking and chefs and TV programmes, social media. Being a chef in this industry is made to seem like a rock and roll style of life. It's easy, you can do that, but it's not. It takes years and years of learning every single day to be able to get to that position, you know. And it doesn't come overnight, and you've got to knuckle down and learn, and the hours are long, you know. Even with restaurants, you know, going down to sort of 4.5 days trading, 4 days trading, rather than 5.5 like it used to be. You do get that time, but then when you get that time, you know, so a lot of people tend to burn the candle at both ends, you know. And you've got to realise it is still going to be long hours, and it's going to be hard, and it's going to be a pressurised environment, but you've got to stick at it if you really, really want it, and learn, you know. Go and work somewhere for a chef that you admire, research the food, go, actually, you know, I love that style of food, love that style of cooking, I'm going to go and work there for 2 years. And then when you're there, you learn that, absorb that, and go, okay, let's look, you know, look at everywhere like a school as well. It's not just a job. It's a school. It's a way of learning. It's a way of life.
So maybe not be intimidated if you don't know everything. That's okay.
Never.
Come passionate, willing to learn.
That's it.
Interested in food in general. And
that's it. You can learn. You can learn anything.
Yeah.
If you don't know how to do something, and you ask someone to do it, and they show you, then you learn how to do it.
I think that goes back on you as well, then, being approachable, and
that's it.
You know,
that's it.
And that kind of chef.
If you find yourself in a kitchen that is like that, where you ask a question, you get told to fuck off, or get told, "Oh, you're such an idiot," or "You're stupid,"
which I don't think happens too much.
No, but you might get that. You might find yourself in that situation. Then pack your stuff up and go and find a kitchen that will you know, receive you and treat you correctly, because there's lots of kitchens. Well, most kitchens are like that.
Yeah.
They want people to ask questions. They want people to learn, because once that young chef learns that ability or that new skill, they then become better, which then makes it easier.
Yeah.
For those people who are above them,
Could you recommend any books to young chefs? Any ones that you've read really helpful?
Ooh, books. From my side, from the pastry side, one book that I found incredible was a book called Elements of Dessert. An American chef. Fantastic. I mean, when I got the book, it was about 120 odd quid. I think you can pick it up now for about 50 or 60 quid. But it's got a lot of interesting modern ideas, concepts that will educate people and sort of open your mind to sort of different things. But then I'm thinking of a more recent one that I've looked at, which is, I'd say, another one. A restaurant that I was always admired when I was at the Hand of Flowers. Actually, I was very close to attempting to go and work there. It was a restaurant called El Cellar de Can Roca.
Yeah.
And a guy, a pastry chef that I know, who's a chocolatier. He was based in Marlow when I was there, called Damien Allsop. He was he went there and trained Geordie Roca in the arts of the pastry, and he kind of got my love for that restaurant, which is my goal before I reach 40, to go and eat there.
Yeah.
I've still got 7 years, so I was determined to do it. But yeah, that restaurant and the El Salado de Roca, they had a book out a few years back, and that is like it tells you the story from when they first opened. You have pictures from the 80s, the early 90s, all the way up to sort of when did it come out, about 2015 or so, 2016. And you see the transition and how the food has progressed and evolved into where it is now, almost like El Bulli style. That's where it is now. And that's a very, very, very good book mentally to sort of look at and understand the stories, and then to see the food as well.
Excellent. I'll put links to them books on the show notes, so anyone who wants to read them can go back and read them. They'll come in helpful. So did you pick up the pastry side of things up at Hand and Flowers?
Well, I started off at Adlard, to be fair. As I say, the guy who was on the pastry left, and I kind of got thrust up on there at 16 years old in the kitchen. Didn't know what I was doing. Obviously, was making. First 2 months were horrific because I was making mistakes. Didn't know what I was doing. Going to a Saturday night service. Yeah. Running out of ice creams, running out of sorbets, and because I didn't know, I didn't know where I had to be, and there was only 3 of us in the kitchen. Then after that, sort of probably about 2 months, 3 months, it kind of clicked, and then I kind of got into it more of a stride. And then, as I said, I'd done sort of a year on there. Tom came, and then I said, "Look, I've done my time in pastry. I want to come off. Do the rest." And then we just got a new commie in. He then went on the pastry. So I'd done it. So I moved on to the garnish. And then when we went on to open the Hand of Flowers, the garnish area opened. Then I was doing some cooking on the meat and fish. Yeah. And then I left. Came back. When I came back, straight onto the garnish. That's almost like the section to prove yourself, because it is a busy section.
Yeah, it's hard work.
Done that for 4 or 5 months, and then the pastry chef who was there, she left. We were having the new kitchen built, and then Tom said, "Look, can you just go back in the pastry, get it running, set it up in the new kitchen, and then you can come off again?" And I said, "Okay, brilliant, that's fine. I don't mind doing that." Yeah. Did that. Went out, done that, set up in the new kitchen, all that jazz, and then sort of one night after work, I had a pint with Tom, and I said, "Look, I want to come back off now. And he just said, "I think you should stay on there." He said, you're naturally gifted at it. You're very good at it. He said, you're better at your age now than I was. You never will be at it. Big price. You just need to obviously expand my knowledge and how things. In terms of being able to make everything, produce it. Or I was very, very obviously capable of doing it. I was like, okay. He said, and then there's different things that he'd done along the way to sort of aid and help my progression, which was great. I was getting Damien Allsop in to come and work with me for 2 months, who was a fantastic pastry chef. Worked for Ramsey, taught these guys, taught Geordie Roca. an incredible pastry chef. He worked with me for 2 months and was always there to help if I ever needed him. He was based around the corner, literally.
Yeah.
You know, so we've done all this to help me get to a level. And obviously, he was very good himself. He didn't do himself justice for his knowledge and skills on pastry. And then I learned a lot of that from him.
So then you started at Purnells as a pastry chef?
Yeah. So when I came here, Glyn had a pastry chef, Pete Casson, who was here, and I came on with him because they'd only ever had really Pete here, and then due to his family commitments, he wouldn't work. He'd work one night in the week, and then on Saturday. So then what they'd always, Glyn always had was one of the other guys would be on the pastry working a week. Yeah. Then they'd cover obviously the nights, and then they'd swap around so everyone had a chance to go on the pastry, which is good because they'd get everyone's sort of knowledge. Everyone learned how to make bread properly. Everyone learned how to work with different things. And then obviously I got to the point at the hands where I've been there 5 years. I went for a job. Tom organised me a trial at Per Se in New York. Yeah. Went there, worked a week, got the job, came back, and due to different situations back here, I couldn't go and live in another country. So I was like, okay. And then Tom was like, right, we'll get you a trial at Fat Duck. So I went to the Fat Duck, got on really well there. I thought, right, I'm going to go and work at Fat Duck for a year, and then move to Birmingham. And then Daniel Clifford, who's very good friends with Tom, obviously told him the situation was happening, and he's basically just said, like, if he's only got a year, he's probably going to waste it going to the Fat Duck. You need to spend a bit more time there to learn everything. He said, my pastry chef, she's leaving to have a baby, I need someone to come in. So I went there for a trial. Got on really well, all the guys there, they were brilliant. And Midtown House was in Cambridge. It was my only trepidation was moving slightly closer back towards Norwich. I didn't really want to move closer towards it. I was like, okay, cool, I'll do it. And then through different reasons, I just said to Tom, look, I've got to move to Birmingham. You know, I've been with my girlfriend the next amount of time. You know, we've been together 8, 9 years. Was she putting pressure on you to come back to? No, she wasn't. Because she wanted to live in Birmingham. My career, you know, in Marlow, it's only an hour away. Yeah, so it's not really. Course, on the days off stuff, it was cool. I just thought to myself, you know, I've got to do something sort of now. And I said, Tom, there's only one place in Birmingham to work, and that's Purnells. Yeah. Obviously, having a chance of having a job available now is whatever. And so I walked down the pub. Tom was still drinking then. Him and Beth were in there, and he went, right, okay, I'm going to make a phone call. We literally walked outside, phoned up Glyn. And Glyn was, it was about 11, 12 o'clock at night. Glyn had just got home. He said, we had a conversation last weekend about it. He was telling some of the other chefs about the story about Tom phoning him up, saying he had a present for him. Tom said, I've got a present for you. And he said, okay, cool. He said, well, I've got someone leaving. So yeah, brilliant. Came down on the trial, got the job, and then moved down 2 months later. And then I was on the pastry. Yeah, we had a good bunch of lads when I came here, which was interesting because I've been with the same people, obviously with the hand pastry, the same core of people for so long, and then being in the kitchen where you've got no relationship with anyone, it was a bit strange. But yeah, met some fantastic people still to this day, like I say, really good friends. And then just how it sort of fell, sous chef left. Yeah, me and a guy called Dave Taylor, who was at the same time we got the nod, and then sort of asked to both the junior sous chefs. Glyn was obviously the head chef, and then I was on the pastry doing it from that side. So Dave was on the meat and fish doing it from that side, and we kind of worked together to run, and obviously learning all the time. You know, once you come from one kitchen like that into a kitchen like this, Tom and Glyn are very similar people, but kitchens are completely different. Yeah, of course. You have to learn, adapt, and see, and learn the way things are done here. But then obviously look at trying to put your mark on things and help the guys improve in the way you can. Yeah. How long did it take you to work your way up to head chef? I can't get my timings right now. So yeah, I came here in 2010. January, February, early that year. Did you already have a Michelin Star? So literally Glyn opened 2008, and then he had a Michelin Star 2009. That's it. So he opened just a little bit late to sort of to make that guy, but then for him it was about opening his own restaurant, being his own boss, you know. And then 12 months later, he got the star, which is obviously very, very deserved. So fantastic, he had that then, and I joined, and then so what did I get promoted to head chef? Maybe 18 months ago now, 12 months, 18 months ago. Yeah.
Do you feel a big pressure in running a Michelin Starred or being a head chef at a Michelin Starred restaurant and kind of trying to maintain them standards of a Michelin Starred?
Listen, it's incredibly hard, but it's also incredibly easy doing it with a fantastic team. And we've got a fantastic team kitchen, fantastic team out front. Obviously Glyn's here every day, so it's not, we've got a really good relationship, and we know when things aren't working, we know when we need to change things, and that's it. We listen to everyone's opinion on things, and we try and make it work for everyone. And so far, touch wood, we've maintained that, and it's and we've kept that standard, and we never take it for granted. Every year when it comes out, especially around Michelin time, you obviously constantly thinking about it. And then when you realise once again that you've maintained that star for this amount of time, it is just a testament to how hard everyone works and what we do every day, and how we have to keep on evolving, adapting, and changing. The same as anything in life, you stick to something, you get left behind. You have to change. You have to keep your identity, but you have to adapt and step up constantly. 100%, constantly. You have to win that star every year. And it's as simple as that, and we never take it for granted.
You're not maintaining it. You're trying to win.
You're winning it every year, and that's it. And that's it. Yeah, we constantly strive for the next level, and that's what we do.
What was your first impressions when you came here of the food here?
Yeah, great. I'd eaten here. I've always kind of had this weird relationship with Purnells, so to speak. So obviously, I nearly went for a job when Glyn was at Jessica's. I'd met him at one drunken night in Marlow when there's a whole, should we call him a gaggle of chefs abound in Marlow, and Tom phoned me up and said, come down, there's loads,
He touches on some of the shenanigans in his book.
Exactly. So I met them all. First conversation I had with Glyn was when he was in the toilet, which was funny, talking to him, and he was like, you're going out with Brummy, and I was like, Brummy's a brilliant, once you fell in love with Brummy, that's it, there's no stopping. I went, I know. It was fun. It was just funny sort of first proper meeting. I'd eaten at Jessica's, which was great, and then I came to eat here. I had a weekend where I went to eat at a restaurant at Baines for my birthday, and then on the off chance, because I'd had a few days off, I phoned up and just see if I get a table here. It was like a Tuesday night, so I'd eaten at Sats on the Saturday, and then eating here on the Tuesday. Me and my wife came home, and I had a fantastic meal. Great experience, great stuff. And that's, as I say, once it came to the point where it was like, well, I'm in Birmingham, I was like, there's only one place, and so the food is completely different to Tom's sort of style.
That's why I asked, because I've been to them both, and Tom's is great, and it's the kind of thing that I'd probably want to eat every week, whereas Purnell's would be, if I'm having a special occasion, I'm coming to Purnell's.
No, it's great. I mean, like I say, the food, especially when I left, the food style at Hans has changed dramatically. The core values stay the same. That's just a testament to the team that's still there now and how long they've been there. And obviously here, the food was completely different to what I was used to. But the fundamental core of both Tom and Glyn's sort of food knowledge and understanding is the same. They're both the same generations, They're the same era, and they have the same beliefs. So it's quite easy for me to come and sort of slot in and but then obviously learn new things as well. I think after being here for the first sort of 2-3 years on the pastry, kind of made me almost like my sort of finishing school of making me that much better and expanding my knowledge so much more. And then it's also about sort of teaching yourself. So I've had the ability and the time to be able to learn new things myself, which I might not have had the time for, because due to the nature of the beast that the Hand of Flowers is.
How much input do you have on the menu?
So when it comes to the menus, listen, we kind of get everyone involved in it as well. Everyone's got their own sort of bits and bobs and their likes and their dislikes and little things. So we've got 2 really good sous chefs, Phil and Sam, and so we all constantly bringing stuff to the table. Might just be one thing, might just be a piece of meat cooked in a different way, might be a vegetable or a puree or something, and then we sort of make a dish around that, or we'll come up with a dish, or someone will come up with a dish, and then we'll eat it and go, well, it needs this, it needs that, or we'll take that away, or maybe just need to add that.
Yeah.
You know, and we constantly work. You know, nothing very rarely comes up 100% right first time. But it's made right, and when it's made right, it goes on the menu. You know, and Glyn will come in some mornings, go, oh yeah, right, let's do this, let's get that in, let's get these in, let's look at something like this, and we'll get it in, we'll get it prepped, we'll get it cooked, and we'll all stand around the pass, we'll put it all together, taste everything, and then once again it'll be like, okay, well that's right, or that, no, it doesn't need that, or maybe we could actually do it with this, and then kind of how it works,
So everyone gets a little say in everything. That's good.
And that's it. Sometimes with desserts as well, I've got things written down from years back, which I kind of turned away, I looked away, and then come back to. Sometimes I come in the morning, I'll be thinking of something on the way and go, okay, that'd be nice. Come in, make it, do it. It's nice. That's it. It's done. Yeah. Glyn like that, and he's like, yeah, it's great. Or just do a little bit of that. Okay, cool.
I noticed there's some subtle changes, like obviously the burnt egg custard surprise, which is what Purnells is famous for.
Yeah.
But then there's a subtle change from like the original. I think the original might have came with strawberry or something.
Yeah, so obviously we with that we follow the seasons. So
right.
as soon as it gets to strawberry season, they're back on.
Strawberry.
It comes on with strawberries.
At the minute, I think it's apple strudel.
Yeah. So and what I've tried to do with that is obviously over the years, strawberries are always on with the tarragon and black pepper honeycomb. We evolve that to obviously bring it up to the style of what we're cooking now. And then when we move through the seasons, we obviously change. At the minute we're on with rhubarb, which is always the case. Nice. So once again, that's then tweaked from last year, and it's because essentially it's rhubarb and custard, this time of year. And then by the time rhubarb's coming out, the strawberries will be coming in, then we can move straight into the strawberries. Then after the strawberries, we're looking at sort of blackberries, then we're going back onto apple and pears and quince, and then we're kind of going around in that sort of cycle of what we can do. But what I try to like to do is to keep the same almost flavours, but adapt it and make it better for the following year. So what we do this year with rhubarb will be similar but different next year, and hopefully better, and then constantly evolve like that and make the things that we do better.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love that. We're going to be wrapping up shortly now. I've taken a lot of your time.
No, that's cool.
I just wanted to get your thoughts on the whole kind of restaurant scene in Birmingham in general.
Oh, fantastic. Literally, it's absolutely exploded in the last sort of 5 years, obviously more so in the last 18 months, 2 years. There's lots of new things coming up, and it's good for the city. It's only can be good for the city because it brings people here, and obviously we've got quite a lot of Michelin Starred restaurants in close proximity, but no one's going to want to come and eat at Purnells every night. No one's want to go and eat at Adams every night. No one's want to go and eat at Carter's every night, or whatever. They want to eat at the different restaurants for the different styles of food. So for one occasion they'll come to Purnells, one occasion they'll go to Simpsons, one occasion they'll go to Carter's or whatever, and that's it. That's what people tend to do now. They don't have a favourite restaurant. We have regular customers who come all the time, but like they want to go and try the other guys out because that's life, isn't it? And you want them to be able to do it. But then once, say for instance, I don't know, Adams gets a table there, they're here for 3 nights. Oh, they go to eat at Adams Saturday, we go to eat at Purnells, they go to eat Adams Friday, go to eat Purnells Sunday lunch. And they come and go, we've had 2 great meals in 2 days. So then next time we come back, we'll come back and have dinner at Purnells, and then they'll go for lunch, at Simpsons. And it kind of works like that, which is great. Because it means everyone's busy, and you've got lots of other fantastic restaurants opening up as well. I mean, Adlard just opened Opheme, which I still regrettably haven't been to yet. Unfortunately, I had a table and had to cancel, but we'll hopefully be going ASAP, and he's doing fantastically well. Another restaurant in Birmingham that I really want to eat at, which I just haven't had time, is Folium. I've heard nothing but good things. And one of our old boys is working there, Shaq, which is great. So I'd love to go and eat there. And I've just kind of found out as well, I say just found out, but they're open on Sunday, which is kind of cool because that's my day off. So hopefully be able to go, with wife and 2 two young kids to entertain on my days off.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult to swan
Yeah,
off and
busy
go and eat
man.
in restaurants, you know. But yeah, so as I say, there's loads of fantastic places, you know. A new one opened up just around the corner, Tattoo, you know, Japanese, Asian style. And I've eaten at the one in Manchester, and that was brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's going to be good as well, because once again, it will bring people to this fantastic city, especially with all the work that's going on as well. I mean, at the minute you look around and you go, well, cranes, building work, etc., but that will all be finished soon. And
probably this time next year,
yeah,
the city's different again.
and then it looks fantastic for everyone, really.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. Thanks a lot for that today, Luke.
Nice.
Really appreciate your time. I know how busy chefs are.
No worries at all.
That was brilliant. Thanks.
Great.
Well, that's that. Thank you all for listening. Please remember to subscribe, rate and review our podcast. This really does help us.
Yeah, it really does. Even if you could just help by recommending us to a friend or a family member, helps to get our name out there.
If you haven't yet seen our blog, go check it out. It's where you can find all our show notes, restaurant reviews and other food ramblings. The website is www.breakingbreadpodcastuk.blog.
Also, go check out our social media. Our Insta is full of pics of food. Also, feel free to leave comments. We love hearing from you. All the links to our social media and our guest social media can be found in our show notes. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, take care.